American culture has a particular fascination with serial killers, to the point where they have been elevated to the level of myth, terrifying monsters that keep us up at night but ones we seemingly can't stop learning about. While it's chilling to read about the atrocious acts that serial killers such as John Wayne Gacy or Ted Bundy committed, it's just as fascinating to speculate about the ones that have never been caught. FactFi presents 5 more serial killers that have never been caught. Number 5. Highway of Thieves Killers. While the United States is generally thought of as the serial killer capital of the world, Canada has had its fair share of heinous murders, including more than a few that remain unsolved. Perhaps most infamous of these is the Highway of Thieves in British Columbia, a 720-kilometer stretch of highway. At least 40 women have been murdered between 1969 and 2011. Given that the murders span almost a 50-year period, it is believed that there have been multiple killers along the Highway of Tears, with only one suspect ever being implicated definitely in some way. The DNA of serial killer Bobby Fowler, who passed away in 2006 while in prison, was discovered on the body of Colin McMillan, who went missing in 1974. Unfortunately, investigators have concluded that it would have been impossible for Fowler to have committed most of the murders given his movements at the time, so it is likely that the other killer or killers remain at large. Number 4. Servant Girl Annihilator. One of America's earliest serial killers, the Servant Girl Annihilator, stalked Austin, Texas over the span of a year from December of 1884 to December of 1885 and had 8 known victims. The killer got his nickname because he primarily targeted servants, but he also had one male victim. Each victim was attacked while asleep in their beds, with several women dragged outside to be murdered. The killings instigated a wave of paranoia and fear in Texas, with a December of 26 in 1885 article in the New York Times reporting that over 400 men were arrested by area police over the course of a year. The murders were never officially solved. Number 3. The Long Island Killer. A killer who operated in the Long Island region for at least 20 years from 1996 to possibly the present, and with anywhere from 10 to 17 murders attributed to the unknown suspect, the Long Island Killer is one of the most recent American serial killers to go unidentified. Authorities know very little about the suspect, speculating that he is likely a white male in his mid-20s to 40s with extensive knowledge of law enforcement operations and techniques, which would explain how he has so successfully avoided capture. The last identified victim who may be a victim of the Long Island Killer was Natasha Hugo, whose body was found washed up on Gilgo Beach on June 24 in 2013. Number 2. The Zodiac Killer. Thanks in large part to the 2007 film starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Robert Downey Jr. that depicted the investigation, the Zodiac Killer is perhaps the most infamous unsolved serial killer case in the United States. Much like Jack the Ripper did almost a century prior, the Zodiac taunted police by sending investigators and the Bay Area press cryptic messages, only one of which was ever conclusively solved. There has been an open case file on the Zodiac Killer since 1969, and in total 5 murders have been definitely linked to the case, with as many as 37 victims possibly being connected. There have been numerous suspects over the years, but this is one case that will likely remain unsolved for a long time to come. Number 1. Jack the Ripper. He is the most iconic serial killer for a reason, which is primarily because he was never caught. Jack the Ripper is often credited with jump-starting Western culture's serial killer fixation, and it's pretty easy to see why. The Ripper murdered at least 5 women in the impoverished Whitechapel district of London in 1888, and the media frenzy surrounding the case contributed greatly to public obsession, ignited as it was by a series of letters purportedly sent to police by the killer, including the infamous From Hell letter that inspired related modern fiction of the same name. In all, there are now well over 100 theories regarding the Ripper's identity, proving that this unsolved case continues to have a collective hold over our murder-obsessed culture. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give us a like, share it with your friends, and if you are new, don't forget to subscribe down below for the best entertaining videos you will ever see. No doubt about it.